Yes, people, welcome to another episode of the Rings and Things Fantasy Basketball Podcast. We're joined with Stevie, representing South Norwood Knights.
I know, sus everyone. Stevie, South Norwood Knights, you know what it is already.
Well, no, talk to me nice now.
I forgot about that one. Shit, talk to me nice. Get my lines.
We're also joined with Curtis, representing Brum City Blaze.
Oh man. Them boys have been talking too much.
Who are you talking about?
I'm certain gyms. One of them has been saying a few bits on this podcast at the moment, but we'll address them a bit later. As
Is it me or Marcus?
Both of you, to be honest. If I'm being truthful, there was a lot of chatter, and a couple of people are going through the situations that I was going through, and the pressure is tough on them right now.
And myself, Marcus, representing Croydon Crusaders. Obviously, we've got a lot of things to discuss today. The usual fantasy stuff, waiver wire pickups, injuries, and big performances. But before all of that, here's to explain the rules of our league.
Here's your quick run-through and guide to the NN2 Basketball Association Fantasy League. We have 9 teams in our competition, including the Atlanta Snipers, Bath City Pythons, Brum City Blaze, Croydon Crusaders, Clutch City, the Essex Eurostep, Leicester Red Eyeballs, Point Assisting Rebounders, and the South Norwood Knights. Each team has 13 players in their roster, 10 are active and 3 are on the bench. Players can be changed once a week, but once the first game they're scheduled to play in that week has started, they'll be locked in exactly where they are. Teams were determined via a draft. Players not selected go into the free agency pool and can be picked up twice a week with a bid from a budget of $100. Players go to the highest bidding team. Another way to get players is via trades. 2 teams can do a single or multiplayer trade, and all trades are signed off by the commissioner to ensure they're not too one-sided. We use a rotisserie style scoring format, so when one of your players scores points, they will be added to your team's total for the year. If your team has scored the most points, you will be awarded 9 points. If your team has scored the least, you will get 1 point. This is a case across all of our 9 categories: field goal percentage, free throw percentage, 3-pointers made, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, and points. The owner with the most points across the year will be crowned NBA Fantasy Champions of the NN2 Basketball Association.
So we got a really big episode to talk about today, you know. I think we got to discuss the KD Twitter thing, the unfortunate killing in Minnesota, also a lot of movement in the fantasy league. And I really want to get started off by looking at the current standings at the moment. So where we are at the moment, we have Clutch City, Jermaine at top with 48 points. Then we have second, we have Jay with Atlanta Snipers with 47 points. And we have myself joined with 47 points in second. And then we have South Norwood Knights in fourth, Brum City Blaze fifth, Bath City Pythons in sixth, Point Assisting Rebounders in seventh, Leicester Red Eyeballs in eighth, and Essex Eurostep in ninth.
Curtis was waiting for you to say it.
Can I just say, I like the way he skimmed over his position and pointed
Yeah.
his name quick, you know.
You know why? Do you know why? It's because it's very much short-lived, bro. It is short-lived, so don't need to say the position right now.
You never thought you'd see them spots again, mate.
But what do we think about where your positions are at the moment? You know I'm not happy. I'm not staying there for sure. But
It's techie, man. Like,
certain man like Stevie have been sliding.
The thing is, there's literally nothing man can do about it, bro. Like, the injuries just literally slapped me all
Sounds
the night.
Sounds familiar.
Nah, but you know what it is, though? Yeah? You see that last year when I had that Steph Curry out for 3 months, I don't think you didn't have nothing like that. You've had something where it's been a month, cool, and then D'Angelo Russell injury prone. So
I've had players out like in the past if you're going to past seasons,
but
you
then,
know. Like,
but then I'm no, not 3 months Steph Curry though. Let's don't do that.
I had AD miss half a season. If we're talking production from top pick spot, you know. Some people deal with it, some people crumble.
You know.
What, Marcus? Why are you saying that you've done something?
What? You shouldn't be talking, Marcus.
Marcus,
How?
Let's establish.
I've been for how long?
Let's establish.
What?
The person with the most pressure on their head is Marcus by Miles. Because on this podcast, he said, yeah, I asked him, Marcus, if you don't win, are you not in the bracket of being the worst GM of all time? What was your response, Marcus?
Yeah, I said yes. Okay. I don't understand. I'm not running away from the pressure.
You do understand. I don't
understand where you're going with it. I don't get it. I'm still going to win this thing. I haven't changed my position. I've had a couple injuries and a couple niggling injuries. Certain guys are coming back. You know.
But hold on. But Jay's had injuries, and he's onto you.
Who, Jay? No, Jay's not. He's not onto me. Trust me. He's not onto me. Trust me.
He's above you right now, you know, mate. Like, he can't
but onto you. We all know he's had a lot of players play last night. Tonight, I'm going to take those stats back, and he's going to lose stats from other people.
I'm not saying that you won't interchange with Jay over the next few weeks. I'm saying at the end of the season, if Jay carries on how he's going on, he's going to finish above you. Whether he wins or not, I don't know, innit? Yeah. And then you got Jermaine as well. Yeah. And then if I come back as well and somehow you fall out of top 3, I don't want to hear your mouth ever again. Yeah.
But that's not going to happen.
That picture, the last one I just said is not. It's not impossible, but it's hard, isn't it? I respect that. You should come top 3. But if you don't come top 3, Marcus, absolute worst of all time. No debate.
All right. So explain what's been happening over the last couple of weeks. Like you at one stage you were in the top 3 bracket. You were looking at, potentially, trying to get second and all of that. But now all of a sudden you're 4th. Curtis is looking to catch you up.
No, he's not.
He's looking dire at the moment.
Now, let me say this. This week,
No, he's not.
This week, you're dropping out the 40s, Stevie.
No,
I'm taking that 4th spot by the end of this week.
Out the 40s. This is the thing, yeah. Curtis thinks, all right, he's going to get me on assist. Cool. That's the 1 point he's getting me on.
Stevie, have you checked the 3-point category recently? Or you just ignore that category?
I'm not catching me on that, bro.
Are you sure?
Right.
How many do you reckon are behind you in 3-pointers? Do you reckon it's within 10? Do you reckon it's within 20?
He's 7 behind you, bro.
Give me an estimate.
7.
Curry can get that in the night, bro.
And that's you and Demo, by the way, because I know you two have had your little battle going on, but I'll take that soon. I'll have some of that, mate.
That's mad. Yeah, a lot of stuff happening in like 1 or 2
Man
weeks.
said that's mad.
Can I just say,
the realization.
Because I think I need to put something out here, because a lot of GMs were talking about my team for weeks on episodes, and the pressure in that top GMs? 4. Stevie was one. You were laughing at everyone at that period, so I'm not going to mention you two, Tough, because you've been crumbling for about a month now. Stevie was one. Demo on the last episode said, look what happened to Curtis. I don't know how he's chatting, because he's still ain't above me and he's rock bottom right now. But we won't go too much into
that's
his team.
That's something I want to talk about as well. Like, when are we putting Demo back into Yahoo League? Because
honestly, I don't know why this guy is in this league.
I don't know, mate. I think we need to build a relegation system now, because
something G League or something, because it's like he's giving up trying.
How is he last? Honestly, like
I don't know, mate. I don't know.
Just so everyone is aware, like, Dione had Cat out for majority of the season. He had Porzingis out, and he's now above Ray. He's around flipping to here, and also he's above Demla. Demla is just moving dead. Oh man.
Dione had those dreaded triple singles. I know you're familiar with those, Marcus.
What?
Painful.
That's the old me. Hey, talk to me proper this year, fam. Talk to me proper. No, but the thing is, you apparently cornering certain stats off before, and then all of a sudden now you're completely out of the championship picture.
One thing I'll say is the championship picture will be very different in about 2 weeks. And you're going to feel a lot of pressure. Certainly that top 4 right now is not going to be the top 4 in 2 weeks' time. That's 30.
All right, who's going to be in it and who isn't?
I'm going to be in there for sure.
And who isn't?
I don't like to comment on too many other teams, you know. Like, I don't
What
wish
do you
bad
mean?
on other
Just
GMs.
literally-
Exactly, he's just did it. He's a
literally
liar.
went
You
on
know what
He's
it
a
is? I
liar.
don't want to wish bad
Quoting
on certain on
Dione.
other
You
GMs
just
because,
literally
like,
went on a spiel about how you're basically taking me on points and I'm not going to be on the top 4, and now you're not saying it.
that's inevitable, though. Like, it's
He
one of them
already
things
said
where
it,
I can't
Marcus.
do nothing
Yeah.
about
He
it.
already said it, and you have a good chance because right now a man is hampered, bro. A man is hampered. Like, it's mad. It's mad. Like, I'm not like, bro. I'm someone that I could take injuries, yeah, but everything happening at one time, yeah, is
It's a lot, isn't it?
it's like I'm getting no stats, bro.
Bro, I don't know what it is in this league at the moment. Like, it seems like everyone's got injuries. Like, just to list off some of the injuries at the moment. So you've got obviously Kyrie, personal issue. Yeah. Then you had
wait. He's missed 16 games this year. Don't sleep on that. Yeah.
That's your business.
No, I'm just saying, hold on. Carl Towns has probably missed about, 20-something games.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put that out there. Yeah. And I'm still, all right, cool. And then who else is it?
Then you got Kawhi.
Kawhi, I think that's more of a rest thing. Hopefully it don't turn into something, but...
So right foot soreness, they say.
Yeah, hopefully it don't get worse than that, but it's Kawhi, innit?
Giannis, this is an interesting one. Is it what knee issue?
I don't know what's going on. I'm not even getting updates anymore. I don't know what's happening.
Is that rest or is it an actual injury, do you think?
I think it's an actual injury that's not that bad, but in the condensed season, why not have him rest for about a week or two? Do you know what I'm saying? 5 games, 6 games, 7 games, maybe more than that. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't blame the GM. I don't blame them. They're going to make a playoff run, so I get it.
And it's a knee injury. GMs are always trying to be a lot safer, and coaches are trying to be a lot safer with those taller and bigger players when it comes to their knees, because once that goes, that can be career changing.
And then you have John Collins. That was an ankle injury, wasn't it? Yeah. Was it similar to LeBron's in inverted?
No. So it's not that bad. It's just literally an ankle sprain.
Just a normal ankle sprain. Okay.
So he should be reevaluated in the next, I'll say, 6 days or so, 5 days or so. And then I don't think he'll come back straight away. But within the next 2 weeks, he'll be back. But I think a lot of damage is going to be done by then, man. I'm not going to lie. So I want to see what I can do.
Have we got any idea on what's happening with Oladipo and that situation at the moment?
Boy, I think Oladipo's just mash up, man. I don't know. He's so, I don't know. Like,
and you're a Heat fan, it hurts even more. I can imagine.
Tough one. I was looking forward to him playing.
Honestly, because he looked like he's going to be a solid piece for us. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we sign him next year unless it's a good contract for us. I don't think we sign him again because you're too injury prone, bro. Every flipping month you're out for at least half the month, bro. Like, come on, man. You're 28 now. Knee, ankle, ACL tear. It's long, bro. It's long. We can't be putting our money into that.
Yeah, I think if he's expecting a player-friendly contract from Miami, bearing in mind his injury record, he must be laughing. Like, he must be having a laugh.
Pat don't play that. He'll offer him a decent contract that, you know, if he takes it, it will work out good for the Heat and it will work out good for him because there's no guarantees at this point.
Yeah.
There's so many injuries and it's derailed him over the last couple of years.
I don't think he's necessarily looking for money. I think he's looking for a home now, like, because he's just been everywhere. Like,
he needs to, man. I got one notification from Bleacher Report saying Victor Oladipo was not going to get a max contract. I was like, why did you send me a notification about that? What? Of course he's not. Like, why?
Shouldn't be a question.
There's no way. There's no way. There's no chance in hell he gets a max contract from us or anyone.
The mad thing is, you always get those smaller franchises or those desperate franchises that will chop the money at him.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, there's chucking the money in like a Gordon Hayward type of way, but not a max, bro. A max. Nah.
Someone he's probably played 50 to 60% of the season. Like he's played how many games over the last few years? Like it's not many.
There's some teams that have hit that rebuild button though, like a Magic. They'll buy anything.
I don't know.
They'll buy anything.
Do you know what it is though? With this whole playing game, I feel like the teams at the bottom really want to be at the bottom, so they're not taking no dead money at the moment. And the teams that are hunting for the playoffs are kind of want to stay up there.
You know what?
So players like that, they're in a weird space at the moment.
Do you know what? Like, yes and no, because like I feel like teams now, they're not just getting a bag of G League dons like they were before, like the 76ers. Like with the change of the infrastructure to the lottery draft, yeah, now like your worst teams aren't guaranteed that first pick like they were before. Some of them aren't even guaranteed a top 3 pick. It's spread out. So from like 1 till 9, the odds are better weighed basically. So as before, like your worst team in the NBA is like got a 30% chance. Now they've got like a 20% chance, and obviously spread out across the board. So now teams don't mind taking on big contracts sometimes, but they still feel like they can bounce back a lot quicker.
Yeah, they usually let them play like half a season and then let them sit out like the Horford situation.
Yeah,
and also George Hill, and there was another one.
Guys.
All the veterans.
One thing I will say, which is like an interesting shift, I think there are still those teams that do tank because there's a bit more of an understanding that you can hit those gems just in the lottery. I think lottery picks are coming a lot more attractive again compared to teams just thinking I need a top 3, because you're getting players in that top 10 that are becoming all-stars.
It's true.
Donovan Mitchells,
LaMelo, the top 3 picks are banging. Were the last couple of years anyway.
Well, I don't know. There's been a lot of drafts where there's 2 or 3 men in the draft that they excel. There's a lot of nobodies that we forget about. I think the talent, the disparity between elite talent and like shit players is a lot bigger than it was before. If anything, I know they say the game's got more talent there, and it has in one sense, but there's a lot of drafts you look at. There's a lot of guys who are 24, 25, had 1 contract and they're not in the league no more, bro.
Yeah,
a lot of man.
Yeah, that's true.
On the flip side, though, you've got situations where look at last year's draft where scouts are being very hit and miss. They were talking the whole year saying there's no talent in the draft. Whereas if that got redrafted now, how many teams would be trading away players to try and get a Melo or Anthony Edwards?
Yeah, it's true.
The talent is there. The talent seems to be there.
But it's just running through some of the other injuries. So myself, obviously, had Jeremy Grant out. He's been out a week or so ago. And I think he's got like a bit of a knee issue. And then you got Sexton, he's out, LeBron's out, Van Vliet, and Triple J, but he's been out majority of the year. Hopefully he come back some point this month.
We don't want to care about Jaren Jackson.
Why does no one care about Jaren Jackson? I don't understand. Like,
because he's not going to do nothing to your team.
Do we not know how good of a player Jaren Jackson is? I don't understand.
Oh, bro, stop. Stop.
If he comes back, I beg you roster him.
I will.
Yeah,
I will. Do you think I waited all this time to roster him?
I think your pride is just stopping you from dropping him at this stage, because honestly, there's been players on waivers that you've seen that Jaren Jackson is not going to match when he comes back.
And if I win this thing with 1 less roster spot for majority of the year, you're all dead. Anyway,
it's logic. This guy is logic. That's how you know he's been dead for years. You just know.
Then Brumseat Blaze, Trey Young out. Darius, he played, didn't he, Trey Young?
No. It was a game time decision, and Darius Garland would as well. But I ain't worried about those. Those are day-to-days. I've been through the trenches already.
And then obviously Atlanta Snipers, Jay has AD out. He has Rashawn Holmes out and SGA out. And then Varsity Pythons, Harden, Miles Turner, and Clutch City have LaMelo Ball, Jarrett Allen, Jordan Clarkson, and Demolo, Essex, Eurostep have Buddy Hield, Kelly Oubre, Larry Nance, and Tahir, Jamal Murray, which is we need to talk about that one. Jamal Murray, that is a deep ACL injury, and I really feel sorry for him, to be honest. They're really going to need him. I was pretty scared of Nuggets this year, potentially contending in the West, but without that, I don't know. What do you think?
They're not going to do what they were going to do before, because point guard wise, Compazzo, I think his name is, he's solid. He's a solid playmaker off the bench, but starting, nah.
He's too small. He's too small. Doesn't score the same way that Jamal Murray does, and you need that. Need that production from the point guard position.
Yeah, it is something. For me personally, fantasy wise, it's great news for MPJ. I'm not going to sit and lie to you lot. It's going to be great for Jermaine with Jokic as well.
Don't forget Will Barton. He's going to be their main playmaker off the back of Jokic for a while.
To be fair, no, he will get an increase, but you're not going to roster him for the increase.
It depends on it, but it's one of those players that when their usage, not even when his usage goes up, he's a useful player.
Have you still got him in your team?
Yeah. Not in my team. He's on my bench because obviously my hefty players came back. So
yeah, you ain't gonna put him in your main team. So
depends, innit? If injuries hit, he's a player that can come back and his usage will be up. So I ain't complaining.
To be honest, it could probably benefit Aaron Gordon, if anyone, because they're probably going to need more scoring and they're going to request it from Aaron Gordon. It may affect Jokic's assist. I really hope so.
The person we're forgetting about is Monte Morris. You know what? Jamal Murray's a big hit, yeah. Jamal Murray's a big hit, but heading into the postseason, we're forgetting about the extra offense that they really are getting from MPJ. He's a legit 20-point per game done right now.
Yeah.
That's not in question. Brought in Aaron Gordon, still got Yoke, got Will Barton. I think there'll be a strong team in the playoffs still. I see him getting second round. I don't see him being just one of those first round. They're not going to make no noise. They shouldn't
do. But, I wouldn't blame them if they did because Jamal Murray is a major piece of that team. So,
yeah. And then you got Cat out for personal reasons. I assume that's to do with the team, and Ibaka and Lonzo Ball out at the moment for Dione.
It was an unfortunate one for Cat, wasn't it, though? It's the anniversary of his mother.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's why. Yeah, they had his mum's jersey in the crowd, like with some like flowers on top and that. Yeah. That's why I
that's nice.
Yeah. So
I thought it was just in general.
I don't think that'll be a thing.
Yeah. I didn't know it's been a year. That's crazy, bro. Flipping out.
Hey, what's going on with Ibaka? He's been out for a while, isn't he? For the Clippers.
He's getting on, innit? You know what I'm saying?
It doesn't move the needle much. He's one of them players that, again, if you only wanted to have dropped him and got another power forward at some stage, you could have done.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's one of them, man.
But I think the two biggest ones, are obviously AD and LeBron, what that does to the West. What do you think? You think they come back healthy, play straight away, 100%?
They'll come back and play. They may not play back-to-backs. I think they're comfortable with wherever they land in the standings, I'll be honest with you. I don't think... Now that that's happened to the Nuggets, because the only team I think me and you were talking about it one time, I think the Nuggets will give them problems. Other than that, there shouldn't be anyone else that gives them problems like that in the West. They keep saying the West is still the West it was before. I don't think it is, personally.
Yeah.
I
think LeBron definitely comes back and plays back-to-backs. I don't know about AD. I know Jay's hoping so, but it's because it's a heel. It's like a tendon, isn't it?
I don't think LeBron plays all the back-to-backs, but yeah, he'll play more back-to-backs than AD, but he won't play all of them. He'll definitely miss 1 or 2 games out of the back-to-back. If there's like 10 back-to-backs, he'll miss about 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Games.
I don't even think it's going to be the back-to-backs and resting that's going to impact LeBron the most. I just think he's going to get rest where he can. So you see those games where they're up by 20 and in the early stages of the season, they'll still play 30-odd minutes. Those games where they're up, he's just going to sit. He'll be ending games with like 15 points, 5 rebounds.
Yeah. As long as they win, yeah.
There's no need to exert himself. So I can see that happening. And then in terms of resting on back-to-backs, that's going to be AD's game.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah,
they definitely won't risk him. No chance.
Yeah, no, definitely. But there's some waiver wire moves happened this week. Stevie picked up Bogdan $4 and dropped Nerlens Noah. What happened with that? Nerlens Noah weren't in your team long.
Yeah, for me it was my free throw. It's good that people are seeing the stats they can take off me and not seeing what I'm going to take in that next week or so. So that's cool. I was supposed to try and match up my free throw. That's all. I passed a free throw, which was one of my goals while I was being shit. But I got a couple more to pass. And Bogdan, as much as he may not get as much production when Trae Young, and obviously when Collins comes back, it's a nice stopgap for now.
I hear that.
At over 900 free throw, so percent free throw, so 90%, beautiful. Love that.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. You know, he's been playing well lately. He's been putting up points. I don't know when Darren is it Hunter comes back and is Hunter out at the moment.
Yeah, they're due to come back within the next week or so, I believe.
Yeah,
Bogdanovic gets more burn. Sorry, apologies. I think Bogdanovic gets more burn than Hunter, definitely. But Hunter can definitely affect him. But Hunter, it depends on how they're looking at the outlook in it, because I think he re-injured himself recently.
The knee injury.
Yeah,
also, it's a touch-up surgery. They said so. After he's had surgery, he played a couple of games, had a bit more discomfort, so they're cleaning up a few bits, as opposed to it being another full-blown
surgery
attachment or anything like that.
Still a surgery, though. Still a surgery, like, you know.
There's no good surgeries, they say.
I'm saying, like, you have another little tweak, nothing crazy, but have a little bump with someone knee to knee. He's out. He's out for a plea. So we'll see what happens.
Curtis picked up Wendell Carter and dropped Evan Fournier for $2. What do you think?
I just want to say on the podcast, Curtis was like, I don't think Evan Fournier is going to drop off statistically when he goes to Boston.
Oh, is he lying again?
Everyone else knew this was going to happen. Everyone else.
Curtis lying again.
I think you lot are mistaken. I've only dropped him because he got into COVID protocol. If you look at the games he played before I dropped him,
leave off.
Why would I keep a player that's down for COVID protocol? Then's got to come back and reintegrate into our offense.
The game
that's just a
he
smart
didn't play was dead anyway. Don't try it, bro.
How you telling me that in the first couple of games that he come back and was playing dead?
Yeah. What? He was dead.
What?
He weren't knocking down 3-pointers like a madman. No.
What? You know what? You're
Oh my god, he wasn't knocking down 3-pointers like a madman. You need to start doing your research.
He had like
more 3-pointers than most guys in your team.
I swear he had like 9 points for game or something like that.
In the first game, he played like 3-4 games before he got COVID.
You're gonna make me go on my phone and have a look at his stats, because I remember looking at it.
Peak. I think you need to peak and remind yourselves, because to say he was playing dead, you lot saying he was playing dead. Like,
there's a reason he's
not usable.
You said hold up production, so that was already an L. And then the points that he was getting was not that great. He had one game that was cool, like a little 20-point, maybe 30-point, I think it was. I was like,
I said his production wouldn't drop off by that much. He played 3-4 games.
No,
he played decent, 3 of them 4 games, and then got hit by COVID protocol.
That's what you said. Jay, if you want to insert when you said it, I'll send you where exactly you said it, because I've got it on my phone. I've got receipts.
What did I say? That is not going to drop off. He's going to drop off barely anything.
He's not going to drop. I don't see his production dropping off.
That's what you said.
By much.
That's what you said.
Oh, look at him. Now he's saying by much.
The thing is, even if you said by much, you didn't think he'd be this to the point you drop him.
But I dropped him because he's in COVID protocol.
Nah, bro.
Anyways, we have.
Yeah, you're not trying to play the narrative again. The narrative. But all I'm saying is,
Boston City Blaze, get out of here.
I had a lot of Boston players. I had opportunity to pick up a big man that's got some upside. You know, they cleared out the Magic. It made sense to make the move. Fournier weren't playing that dead. That's all I got to say.
Boston City blood cleat line.
And then we have Bar City Pythons, obviously dropped Malik Beasley. And added Chumo Okiki, for $1.
Boy.
And within the same week, dropped Chumo Okiki for Derek White for $1.
I like
Talk about not being able to make up your mind, eh?
The thing is, I like the Derek White move, but it's like, I don't get why he went for Donny in the first place. Not to say Donny can't do anything for your team, but it wasn't enough to roster him, bro. It wasn't enough. Like, there's some players, I think Racing needs to understand, there's players that you're going to roster and actually use in your team, and then there's players that's just picking up and you're doing nothing with them. Like, you're just waiting for something to, like, some magical thing where they start going off. Like, no, Wendell Carter's still there. Like, there's still big, Mo Bamba's still there. There's still people ahead of that guy. So, yeah, I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, I see it, like, I hear it, because, you know, on the fantasy thing, certain people literally just click on the research bar and click plus minus or whatever and see, you know, who's been rostered by majority of people on this fantasy thing. Some people don't know how to use a waiver wire and actually look at, you know, what the certain stats. And
the thing is, I think he does use that, but he just doesn't realize how, like, just because everyone's rostering, first of all, people don't consider that it's across multiple different types of leagues as well.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Those are for daily leagues.
No, it's for all the leagues, but it's the fact that the vast ones that jump up so high and you're thinking,
that's what I'm referring to.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, definitely.
And he saw him at the top, because I did see him at the top, and I thought, but I've never heard of this guy, so he's not all of a sudden going to come out and start dropping 18 points a game and 7 rebounds. That don't happen.
Yeah. No, but we can't just tar Ray with that same brush, because we've got other GMs in this group that the second that certain players put up certain stats, they'll pick them up.
Name names.
Mr. Moses Brownie, you were banging on about. What one of those players that I could have told you this early, when teams are going into that mode and they need to rebuild, they start playing with the rotation. You might get 35 minutes one game, you might get 20 the next. You never know.
I thought he was going to get burned still, but they're gone, Marcus.
No, the thing is, his production obviously dropped, and his production will be up and down because he's a young player. This is the first time he's actually getting real burn in the league. I understood that, and I took that risk. There still will be games where he'll probably get double-digit rebounds, and there'll be games where he'll get less than double-digit rebounds. But he is going to get burned. He is their starting center, so I'm banking on the potential that he will get minutes and he will put up stats.
But then you have to almost question your focus as a fantasy GM, because I believe your focus at the top at that time was more blocks, which is why you kind of missed out on Robert Williams when I picked him up. So to pick up someone like Moses Brown, who is rebounds, don't get me wrong, he can rebound here and there, but he's not exactly a consistent shot blocker. I'm not sure what you were trying to do to benefit your team in the long run.
And his free throws made you go below mean free throw stat as well. Which
short-sighted.
I told you it was going to happen as well. I told you.
That's fine, but that would have happened with Robert Williams. But the problem with Robert Williams, he didn't get the rebounds that I wanted at the time. Although he got the shot blocks, I need the rebounds also, because I was battling with Jermaine at the time, so I needed that.
Short-sighted means she had more upside in blocks than rebounds.
Plus,
I can't teach you the game.
No, plus you picked him up around the trade deadline. And obviously, I didn't know what was going to happen. So I didn't know whether they're going to pick up a big or they're picking up Aaron Gordon. So, you had to take that risk. I didn't.
I think being at that point, Robert Williams was like the 3rd or 4th best shot blocker in the league to date. So it was just a question of, did you want the blocks or did you not want the blocks? I wanted them blocks to just make sure Jermaine couldn't do a thing.
I hear that, but I like to get people that can do at least 2 or more stats, not just 1 stat. And that's why I am where I am and you are where you are. So
for now. Moses.
But yeah, a couple of the big performances of the week. Most notably, was it Cantor?
Yeah, man.
Listen, my gosh. When I say obviously I've been hunting down a couple of Stevie's points. That 30 piece that he got on the weekend is giving you life, Bro, just for 2-3 days, but it's giving you life.
It's poor, like, because like it's that's happened, but it's like I can't even capitalize off it.
That's what's so funny, I saw that, and I said, this guy didn't even make no points. Imagine that. Imagine someone gets you 30 rebounds, and it doesn't mean nothing.
I'm a guy who gets me 10, 11 is out. I've got flipping. It's just mad. It's just mad. So all I'm doing is just trying to maintain to the point when everyone does come back, I can grab a couple of stats back off of people and see what happens, basically.
So just so everyone knows, Cantor got 24 points, 30 rebounds, 2 blocks, 1 steal, 2 assists on 9 of 16 shooting.
Franchise record.
And it didn't mean nothing.
Yeah. It does in the sense of I can't cap it. Like it does in the sense of it helps my team, but I can't capitalize off of it. That's what I'm trying to say. Like it's not like it doesn't help my team. Of course it does.
Because that could easily have been 15 rebounds from Cantor and 15 out of Giannis on that one game day on a regular week.
So I'm saying, so it's just I can't capitalize and edge closer. It's just I'm pushing further away from other people for a little bit. So I'm saying, so it does help. It's just I can't capitalize and move upwards with it. That's
And then the next one was Valanciunas that had 34 points, 22 rebounds, 2 blocks, 2 assists. Valanciunas has been solid, this whole year.
He's always solid, so
rebounding wise, it's ridiculous. One thing I'll say is though, don't you feel that a lot of players are rebounding out of their minds this year? Like it's not really been the case in years past.
Is that because of more shooting threes? Do you think?
Think about the number of games that you've seen different centers get near 20 rebounds a game. But 2-3 years ago, you could only get that out of a Drummond.
It's true.
It's true.
It's mad.
It's true because you got Kanter, Giannis,
Vucevic,
Valanciunas,
Capella. He's bounding like that's all he knows how to do.
Even Rudy Gobert is a good rebounder as well. And
definitely.
Man.
Like the league's changed, and I think it is, as you said, Marcus. I think it is a lot of
the threes,
the shooting that goes on.
Yeah.
And obviously, the most notable one is Curry. I think Curtis, you're the best one to speak about your mans.
Obviously, he's doing bits for me at the moment. As I said, I've been looking at that 3-point category over the last couple of days, and when someone's averaging 6-7 a game, it doesn't really hurt. So, bro,
it's so fake. How man got 53 points, 14 of 24, and 10 of 18 3-pointers, fam. He got 4 assists and 6 rebounds. I know he's nice, but 10 threes in the night is mad.
The mad thing is,
and he's done it 18 times, you know.
Like, it's not surprising. Like, it's
not surprising to me.
He has heated up though. Before we move on from Steph, I don't think people are really acknowledging that since he come back from that little back injury, he's been averaging their 40 a game since. But I think that's going under the radar a lot at the moment.
Are they actually going to make the playoffs though, Golden State, do you think?
Hopefully not.
There we go. We'd have Stevie today. You were the one that kept saying that, they're in the bottom end of the playoff hunt. They're going to start resting.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Like, they've managed to somehow keep relevant. Like, there's teams that I thought would do better than them. I know you got Steph Curry, but after Steph Curry and Draymond, Wiggins and Kelly Oubre's been out for a piece as well. I want to say a couple of weeks.
Yeah. A couple games or so.
I don't know whether they're winning games right now or not. I'm not particularly sure. I don't really watch the Golden State Warriors like that no more. But don't get twisted. When that tailbone happened, I thought that was going to be it. And you thought it was going to be it as well. Don't lie.
Have we reached the point? Because obviously you've got, less than 20 games to go in the season, or maybe around 20. Yeah. Are you at the point where you're now saying you were wrong this season and I was right, that Steph was fine as a fantasy player? Because you've been telling me to be worried about this shutdown since week 2.
But then what I said was if they're not in the playoff race, that was
I believe you said competing, so in the upper end of the playoff race, whereas I said as long as they're near that play-in spot, that kind of 8, 9, 10.
We'd have to review that because I was saying playoffs, innit? I was saying if they're not in the hunt for playoffs and he gets injured, you're not playing Steph Curry like how he was before if he gets an injury like that.
We'll have to review the tape, but I remember you going on a big rant about them only looking at championships and not wanting to waste their investment and their gemming Steph. But we'll review the tape.
To be honest, I didn't think Steph would be going this hard at this stage of the season, considering where they are, because at the moment they're sitting 10th with, 26 wins, 28 losses, 48%.
They had a written off. I kept saying it. They had a whole written off season, and they've just moved to a new arena. He's still got every reason to just go out and make a show, be Steph.
But with Wiseman out and Oubre out now, and
that's what it was. Yeah, I'm hearing Wiseman's out for the rest of the season as well. So, it may not be the shutdown that I wanted, but
You know what the weird thing is? You always forget the argument that we always say that Steph can't lead a team. It's his opportunity to silence the haters, so he's going to be balling.
He can't. He can't though. He can't.
He's not done too bad this year.
Yeah, but he can't. He's not doing like CP3 going to different teams and just making them go playoffs first year.
If Clay was playing, because don't forget they lost Clay as well, so this would be like if CP3 went to the Suns and Booker went down, and then they had the record they had. So we need to start giving Curry the credit he deserves, man.
But then it's not the Suns that like the AFC. The Suns are like one of the best records in the league.
Do you think the Warriors would have been up there with a healthy Clay?
Yes,
3 seeds.
100%.
There you go. That's all I'm saying.
You know what I say? CP3 is where Steph Curry is. I think the same thing. 1 or 2 games out. I think the same thing. Like, I think man need to put and I've been critical of CP3, but seeing what he's doing going to different teams first year playoffs.
100%. No, I've got so much more respect for.
It's when he's got other players. Like, as much as I respect CP3 as well, I do. I'm not speaking down to him.
Bro,
a lot of the time, bro, it's when there's at least someone there. We have to acknowledge that.
Man, not like that. Like, not like
is Shea, before we jump on that. Is Shea, last year's Shea, not even just this year's Shea, better than everyone that's on the rest of that Golden State's roster right now? So we're talking Wiggins, Kelly Oubre, we're talking...
Yeah, he is.
Thank you. So we have to kind of look at it from the angle of when CP3's got someone like a Harden, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, he gets the job done. Credit
yeah,
but
he makes them better though. He does make them better.
He's a very good player. He's got huge impact for a 6-foot guard. Like, it's crazy, but Steph needs some respect, man. I think people are still not giving him his respect.
No, for real. He needs to give man in the league whatever he's using to stay injury free. He needs to give that out, and that special stuff that he drinks.
He's in his bottle,
bro.
I don't even want to say it, but he's in the bottle.
Remember, every year, injury from Chris Paul, hamstring. Was it a hamstring? In it, majority of the time, he get a hamstring injury, and now all of a sudden, I think he said that he turned vegan. You know, that might be it. Imagine that. But moving on, I think we have to discuss it, man. Obviously, Minnesota having their game postponed because the unfortunate killing of Dante Wright, rest in peace. What do you guys think about that situation and how it's unfolded?
I don't think it's as race driven as other things, but it's like when I heard that basically the police officer went to draw for a taser, then mistook the taser. No, he went for his taser, then mistook his gun for a taser, then was like, "Oh snap! I've shot him." Like,
have you seen the video? Have you seen the video?
So I've literally seen where he's in handcuffs by the car, and then that's it. That's all I've really seen. It's not really gone into graphic footage.
So from what I've seen in the video, the guy's in handcuffs, being arrested. He starts resisting arrest, gets into the car, and the female officer's got a gun pointed at him, assuming that for some reason it's a taser, but she hasn't pointed at him for quite a while for you to realize that, you know, what's in your hand is not a taser, and then shoots him, and then he drives away and I think crashes. And then she says, "Oh, I just shot him. You know, I thought I had a taser," sort of thing. And you've been in the force for 24 years, and you mistake a taser for a gun.
I will say that the way I'm not saying she's wrong, but the way a taser shaped is like a trigger and it's like that in it. So I'm not gonna say like they're not similar at all, but it's like, you know, in weight, like this is a gun and this is a taser in it, yeah. And if she's messing up like that, then I don't know. And then there's the other incident the other day with the lieutenant at the thing. It's just I think it's just the level
that was
of
ridiculous.
Treatment. Oh yeah, it's just the level of treatment. So it's not race driven in the sense of they saw a black guy and thought, yeah, whatever. Yeah. But it is also a case of that because, in my opinion, like the protocol changes when the race is different. It's as simple as that. The necessary steps with a white person and a black person are completely different.
So I've not seen the video itself. I've just obviously read a lot of the reports. So a lot of my understanding of it has been hearsay and reading what people have been saying. But if it is the case that, you know, she's making the excuse that she didn't understand the difference between a taser and a gun, I imagine as a basic, the weight in itself will be different between the two. Like, I don't understand how you can be in that heightened of a situation as an officer and a person of authority that you're panicking to the point that you don't know what you've picked up. I think obviously we're over here in the UK, they're over there out in the States, so policing is very different. But the amount that it happens and the repetition, it don't make no sense. Like how it constantly happen over and over.
It's crazy. Again. And the thing over here in the UK, I know police officers have tasers, but our tasers are yellow. So there's no way in hell that you could mistake our tasers for a gun. So I don't know what color their tasers are.
This is black, bro. That's what's just stupid when I think about it.
Ridiculous.
It's dumb. So I'm saying, so it gives her the excuse, and I'm not gonna lie, like she may get off of it, and it's not what you know. She didn't do a George Floyd type of thing in it, like where a man's basically just showing no respect. He doesn't care. He's got his hands in his pockets. Like you can see it.
Yeah.
It's like it's you know
it's a mistake from a very experienced police officer, and it should never happen. But regardless of whether it's a mistake, you've killed someone.
Yeah.
It's the irony that the George Floyd case is going on at the moment, isn't it?
At the same time.
In the same city. Minnesota.
And did that thing with the police vet, the vet officer, did that happen in Minneapolis as well?
I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know. I wouldn't be able to tell you. Couldn't say right now.
I don't know what's wrong with that area and that police force, but they messed around. But yeah, what do you think about the NBA postponing the game? Was that the right thing to do? Should they postpone it for longer?
The players have put a foot down now, isn't it? They made it clear at the beginning of the bubble last year to complete the playoffs that they're not standing down for racial issues anymore, and they're gonna make a difference. So it hits people in the pocket that may not be for the cause or may not be for any cause of equality. So I think it's going to continue.
I think it also gives the people involved time to actually digest the information and understand. Because what if, like, let's say, for example, it was literally a mistake to come out and be like, oh, Black Lives Matter or whatever, it's just come out saying bare political things, but it's like, no, it wasn't even, like, don't put that in the same bracket as something else, maybe, because it wasn't that type of situation.
Yeah, of course.
Actually think about what's happened, digest it, and think about how they're going to approach the next game in terms of any political statement they want to make before the game and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and then I think there's talks of them rearranging it to today. So it's supposed to be yesterday. Rearranging it today because they got an off day today.
I think they have done.
Yeah, they have. I think it's at 8 o'clock. It's pretty early over there.
Yeah, so you know, it's not a big of a difference, but it just allows the narrative to be controlled a bit more.
Okay, and yeah, we got obviously on moving on, obviously to that from that topic. As I said, rest in peace, Dante Wright. But we have KD for Shannon Sharp on Twitter. Your man, Stevie, talk to us.
Yeah, let's go. My guy. Listen. Obviously, KD gets a lot of slander, and I definitely know why with the whole burner accounts and all that stuff. I'm not going to say on cap. That was some weird stuff. But
have you got the tweets there, or what started off the situation?
Do you know what? You have to bear with me one moment. But while I'm doing that, basically, Shannon Sharp went on his TV show and was talking about KD, and he made up a quote. Okay, I don't know if he made up a quote or he was misfed
information.
Like wrong information, basically. Yeah, but like he went on and said it, and KD called him out for it. Basically, he called him out.
Yeah, I saw some back and forth between KD and Shannon. It seemed like KD wanted to keep it on social media. Shannon wanted to kind of make it more of a private situation. You know, if you got an issue with me, you know, talk to me privately and we could discuss it there. KD didn't want to do that. And has it now resulted in Shannon Sharp blocking KD or something like that?
Yeah, like Shannon Sharp's blocked him. And this is my thing, yeah. If you're in the public eye, yeah, and you're doing a show where you're telling people about what's going on in the NBA, like, because we kind of talked about it before, and you were saying that he's not, you know, he's not necessarily an analyst like that. He's just a commentator more than anything. Yeah. You can do that in a public setting. Then you can have the conversation in a public setting. It doesn't even need to be on Twitter. It could be maybe he goes on KD's podcast, maybe KD's show. Let KD have the rep because you talked on my name and you were incorrect in it. Yeah. So I fully hear KD for calling him out. You know what I'm saying? And then Shannon Sharp saying, if you want to talk about it, I'm not going to talk to you about it on Twitter. But I've seen Shannon Sharp tweet madnesses before about players and stuff like that. You got to hold yourself accountable, man. And just hold
the way I see the situation, like, I think if Shannon Sharp has obviously been fed wrong information, he's spoken about it. They have to speak about something every day. He's obviously made a mistake. You can now approach Shannon Sharp privately. You know, people like that, when you're that famous, you can easily get someone's contact details, let him know that you got that wrong, and then kind of advise Shannon to then go on his next show and, you know, correct the situation. Why this Twitter finger thing? I don't understand it.
No, I don't think it's because it's the quickest way to respond. I think people need to understand when you're an athlete, the quickest way for you to get a reliable response about yourself to something that's out there is Twitter. Understand? Not everything needs to be tweeted. Don't get twisted. I don't think everything should be tweeted, but I don't think there's anything wrong. There's nothing wrong with someone said something fake, like it wasn't true.
Yeah.
Like, it's not KD's responsibility to find out, oh, like, who misfed you that information, man? That's not right. I know you're cool, but then, no, like, you went and said something that was incorrect. And he said it with his chest. Like, he said it open like that. Yeah, he said this. Do you remember when he said that? No. I'm saying, like, Yeah,
no, I get that, but I'm just an advocate of, if he said it wrong on TV, allow him to correct it wrong, like on TV.
Oh,
Why
wait.
even on Twitter?
So okay, so this is what Shannon Sharp said. Shannon Sharp said, yeah, that KD said, and then he's like, because he said it, I'm gonna say no. If LeBron James is the GOAT, I beat the GOAT twice and hit the shot in his building. What does that make me?
Yeah.
Kevin Durant never said that, bro. He never said that. He never said that.
The weird thing is, I'm not sure if it wasn't that word for word, but I'm trying to think back like 2-3 years ago, and I think there was something that came out in a quote, not quite word for word, but it was in that kind of ilk of, if LeBron James is the best in the world, I've beaten him twice over. I'm not sure if it was on someone's podcast. I'm not sure if it was in one of those kind of settings where it's more relaxed. But I do kind of recall him saying something of a similar ilk, just to kind of put it out there and just see what we actually got from the people around the room. But I don't want to be quoted on that. I'm gonna have to look into that piece now. I've heard the quote because I've never heard it before.
I think it's obviously, you don't want to misquote someone at the end of the day, but like, I don't think it was. You know what it is with KD? I feel like he looks for things to fuel him. Like people talking bad about him, he always looks for people like that.
Yeah.
And he wants to go back at them every time, and I don't know why, but it's gotten him to where he is today. So I can't really talk too much on that.
Yeah. I think listen, man, like, hold yourself accountable. Simple as, like, if you can say something like that, then KD can call you out on it. But now that I think about it, Kurt, you might be right. He might have said something about that, just challenging LeBron being the GOAT.
Yeah, not word for word what Shannon said.
Because how he said it, that's spicy. That's something that everyone would remember in it. I don't think he says it. I think he probably said, I've won against one of the best. So where does that rank me, kind of thing?
It's like same way how LeBron came out and there was the reports of him saying that his championship coming back from 3-1 made him the GOAT. But then he kind of turned around after and said that he didn't say that word for word himself. But we also the reports of him kind of saying, that championship.
No, I saw the video, bro. He was in the barbershop saying that. It
was on his pod, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, that barbershop thing. That man basically said it like him and his boys kind of said it. He said, that's when I knew I was the GOAT. I was like, rah.
I feel like KD did a very similar thing.
Yeah. But that is oblivious. To me, that is the greatest championship of all time, though. There's no twos around it, bro. No twos around it.
That was a big one.
All this KD talk is a perfect way to segue to your man's Stevie, man. Kyrie Irving.
Oh, yeah.
You could probably do a half a podcast on Kyrie, to be honest, but
not really. Not really.
Well, we could, but we
for
could
two
talk about
people
him.
That claim to be about peace so much and like what about bettering themselves. Them two love drama, innit?
You're telling me, bro. What do you want to start with, Stevie? With the personal days, the getting ejected from Schroeder, like with Schroeder, or his message on Twitter.
With the whole Schroeder thing, that's just soft. Let's get that out of the way. That's just soft. I think there's something about. I think he might have said that he may have been called the N-word and said he's gonna let him call me the N-word. Like, let's not get into that, bro. Like, man, am I saying that on the call all the time? Like, let's not do that. I just think that's being silly. But to be ejected, come on, bro. The league is soft, man. Let man talk, bro. As long as man are not getting physical, let man talk, bro. It's part of the game.
No, do you know why they like
a product for us?
You know why I didn't like the way Kyrie handled that? Like, all right, cool. If you've got a problem with someone calling you N-word, especially considering it's coming from another black person, fair enough. You can have a problem with someone calling you that, but he didn't necessarily. He kind of said it in jest, and you can have a conversation with him as a man and say, "Don't refer to me like that." You now did it in the game and made it out like a whole big thing. You then went on to Twitter and say, "No one should address me like this and this and that." Like, Schroeder was not to know. He wasn't to know not to refer to you like that because he refers to everyone around it, or other black people like that. So I don't understand why you had to make it a show and a public affair. Like, everything is so theatrical with his
feelings, because Schroeder was going bucket for bucket with him and he was holding his own. I think someone pulled the receipt straight away of Kyrie in a training session using the N-word to people he was scrimmaging with. Because I think it's only the last couple of years that he's been on this come down from the mountain righteous movement where he can't do anything wrong, or everything's for the culture and of that kind of ilk. But to get ejected over someone saying that in a basketball game, where I imagine basketball and NBA games are synonymous for hearing that word here and there when you're competing, doesn't really make sense. It's soft.
Yeah, like it's weird. Like I think Kyrie's one of them guys that he'll read a book and then take that book on into the world and be like, "This is book is the fact," sort of thing. Like once he's heard that idea in his head, there's no getting around it.
He said the Earth's flat. Like let's not forget that. He was adamant. He was adamant, and I think he
backtracked
might
on
say
it.
the same thing today.
Yeah,
but yeah. He was coming out and saying the world is flat with full chest.
And now he's got some family matters that he has to attend to. I know, Stevie, did you anticipate this when you picked him? This time off?
I knew there was a chance. To me, let's put it like this year, injury prone. We saw what happened last year. So to me, I just put this down to injuries. I know it sounds silly to say in the sense of like it's not injuries, but he's had what he had at the Celtics before he left. Yeah, it wasn't just injuries, bro. There was definitely bare personal issues where he just didn't want to play, basically. And obviously, I think he just had enough of it and shipped him. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just put it down to injuries, like 15 games, 16 games or so, injuries. Done. You know what I'm saying? The production I've gotten out of him for the pick where I got him was great. So, you know, I'm not mad at that.
Yeah. But yeah, I couldn't deal with that in my team. That would frustrate me to hell. Like he's just not a professional, fam. You can't rely on him. You cannot rely on him.
I'll draft him again next year. If no one wants him, I'll draft him again next year. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'll actually draft him again next year.
The thing being, it's standard really when you weigh it up kind of against injuries, against the games that it's missed for personal reasons. So it's like Kyrie's the kind of player that even in an 82 game season, you get 60 something out of him most seasons anyway. So you have to expect it. It's not a big hit.
Yeah.
I don't know. But what do you think about your teams going on the next couple of weeks? If you're obviously not on the next episode, do you think that you're going to be moving up, moving down? What do you foresee?
Wait, I'm going to lose points because I've got Harden on fucking playing. It's ridiculous, bro. But I will bounce back. I don't know where I'll bounce back to in terms of points, but I'll more than likely lose points within the next couple of weeks. But we'll see what happens when my team gets back to, let's say, 85% health, 90% health. We'll see what happens there.
Yeah. Curtis?
I think I'm going to make some noise in the next few weeks, to be honest. I think this week I should pick a few points. I think it might surprise a few people because I don't think a few people are watching the table as tight as it should be with 4 weeks to go. But I think I'm going to pick a few points this week. And the last 3-4, it's going to get interesting.
Anyone to look out for in your team?
I won't even overly say Curry because the second he came back from the injury, he's been balling. I'd say just health. If my team stays healthy, watch out.
Okay.
I hear.
And my team, I think, I'm going to be bubbling in that top spot, that championship race. I think if I get a couple of people back, like Jeremy Grant, you know, I can solidify that position. But I think with Chris Boucher, Vucevic, and Randall, I should have enough to grab a couple points over the next couple of weeks, I think, and stay top. But that is all we have time for today. Thanks for joining us again for another episode of the Rings and Things Fantasy Basketball Podcast. Join us again next week. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to all our socials. We out of here.